Well, good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and it's November 1st, 2021. The first of the month is an important day for a couple of reasons. Number one, we can reflect back on the prior month and determine if what we did was successful or not. Successful in helping small businesses and successful in economically helping ourselves. And then also by being the first of the month, we can look forward to the month ahead and decide what type of changes, alterations, or variations we may want to make to our strategies and efforts. And we're going to talk about a big opportunity to pivot going forward in November if you need to. So again, we get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time on Zoom, 7:59 a.m. Central, right before 8 o'clock, to talk about strategies, techniques, and success stories. And I guess today's topic kind of combines all of those. So there's some of you that are doing really well and others really not generating much volume. So we put together a concept a little over a month ago. We finished the beta test through the month of October, and it's worked out remarkably well. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to share a best practice that may or may not be of interest to you, but it's proven to be very effective in generating a large number of clients. In fact, as we reviewed the data this morning, and again, there's a little bit of a ramp up time, but our top referral partners that are using this strategy are averaging around 50 clients a day. Not 50. So let's talk about what this is. So the concept is, as you can see on the shared screen, is a different way to go to the market. And it's going based upon, hey, would you like to get a funding proposal? So on the left, you're actually seeing the Adobe file that we send out, and I'll show you that in more detail in a minute. On the right is the website, fundingproposal.online. So this is a site that we've created. It's really more of what you'd call a landing page, isn't it? It's only one page. There's nowhere else to go. There's no menu to go to click on and get lost. It is simple. So let's talk about what's on the page. Then we'll talk about the strategy. Then we'll talk about implementation. And of course, at any point you have questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. So on fundingproposal.online, we're setting the tone from the beginning with the header, everyone gets approved. And you'll see the same logo branding on the Adobe that goes out. But right now we're on the right-hand side. So everybody gets approved for financing. Now, of course, you and I know there's different types of financing with different underwriting criteria. So not everyone's going to get the same type of financing, but everyone gets approved, regardless of bad credit, no credit, write-offs, slow payments, repossessions, bankruptcies, collections, judgments, divorce. So what you and I are offering on this strategy, this proposition is, hey, just come get a funding proposal. You're not going to want to miss out on this. Let's get you a funding proposal. So the tagline here on the site is, getting financing to start or grow a small business shouldn't be difficult. And we clarify it's a simple three-step process. Three-step process. People can handle three. Three is kind of that magic number. If there's 3 steps, people will tend to adopt it and engage. If there's 28 steps, it's too much. Makes people's eyes roll back in their head. So what is step one? Step one is we offer guaranteed financing approval regardless of credit, income, or time in business. There's no cost to get the offers, no hard inquiries. People like that. And of course, they're going to be asking, well, what type of funding is this? Well, there's different types of funding, and everything from term loans to revolving accounts to credit lines, lines of credit. Some types of financing use only the EIN, not using the Social Security number, SBA and non-SBA, credit builder loans up to $20,000 with no credit check or verification. The Chapman Fund's a really big deal we've talked about. It's not a bank loan, it's through a taxing authority. The downside of the Chapman Fund is it only goes up to $250,000, goes from $30,000 to $250,000, but regardless, it could be used in combination with others. equity-based financing, money that doesn't have to be paid back, and other options. So here we're letting them know it's a 3-step process, lots of different types of financing that are available. Step 2, because we have 3 steps, right? Step 2 is go ahead and request a free funding proposal. What do we ask them for? Almost nothing, right? Give us your name, give us your email, your phone number, and referral source if applicable, and hit submit. And we'll talk about what happens after they submit, but that's super simple. And then we let them know that step 3 is after they complete the form above, which is step 2, they're going to receive a simple application, which is over here on the left, we're going to talk about in a moment. You're going to receive a simple 1-page application via Adobe. And so that'll allow us to generate some funding offers for them without delay. So this is a simple 3-step process. Now, again, if what you're doing to generate clients, to help small businesses, to make money for yourself is working, I wouldn't necessarily change it. But for those of you that want a remarkably simple and effective approach, because what's our proposition? It's just simply come get a funding proposal. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss the deadline. Let's go ahead and see what you qualify for today. Everybody's approved. Everybody gets approved. So in terms of this, you could simply, if you wanted to do this, you could drive people to fundingproposal.online. And then, the referred by would obviously be important because this is a standardized page, or we can work with you to create a variation of this page that's specific to you. Therefore, if it was your page, your landing page, then frankly, it wouldn't matter if they put referred by or not, because all of the leads that come from that would be directed to you. Now, once they fill this out, then what happens is they are sent in Adobe. You can see Adobe's nice because it's credible. It has good delivery. It's set up for daily reminders because not everyone may get around to it the first time they receive it. This is the actual template that they receive. And so the first page is consistent with reiterating what was on the landing page. Funding proposal, guaranteed approvals, same little logo up in the header. In less than 5 minutes, complete a simple 1-page application to get funding offers to start or grow a business. This streamlined application provides access to numerous financing offers, guaranteed approval financing, referral program. Little bit of background. This was developed with the input of former SBA, SBDC advisors, SCORE mentors, business college professors, and others. We've created a unique streamlined model to get funding offers with a guaranteed approval, regardless of credit scores, income, or time in business. All that you need to do is complete a simple 1-page application, which is the next page down. I'll show you in a second. Once you do, we'll be in contact with you within 24 hours with recommended funding solutions specific to your mitigating circumstances. There's no cost for you to complete the application and receive offers. There are no hard inquiries. There's no risk. And then the types of financing is really redundant of what we already covered here. So this is page 1 of the Adobe package, and page 2 is here. And this doesn't have the form fields visible when it's sent, it does. And so we only ask them for 2 types of information. The first type is tell us about your business. And it says this is optional. So what is the name of your business? It may not even be formed yet. Maybe they're just thinking about starting a new business. They don't have a business name yet. That's fine. They can skip it. It doesn't prevent them from moving forward. The start date of the business, if applicable. The EIN of business, EIN of the business, if applicable. The business address, if applicable. The type of address, is it residential, post office box, what have you. Business phone, if applicable. Business website, if applicable. Monthly bank deposits, if applicable. And business credit score, like their Paydex, if applicable. So everything on top is optional. Quite frankly, they can leave it all blank and the application will still go through and we can still get them funding offers. Then we get to the bottom of the page, which is the key information here. Now, this is going to be for someone that's 20% or more owner of the business. We are going to need the key person information. And so first name, last name, title, in other words, are they the owner, the director, what have you, their cell phone, the email, their home street address, their home city, their home state, their home zip, their home status. Do they rent? Do they own with the mortgage? Do they own outright? You might say, well, Tom, why are we asking home status? The truth is it matters. Again, when we talk, we're going to visit very transparently. And what I can tell you, and it doesn't matter what you think, and it doesn't matter what I think, but from a lender perspective, people who are homeowners are more credible than people that aren't. Does that mean someone that rents can't get a business loan? Of course not. But there's pluses and minuses, right? And if you're a homeowner, it's a plus. It just is in our financial system. So that's why it asks that. Now they might say, well, I live with family, so none of this applies. Well, that's where other comes in. None of this eliminates them from consideration, but the lenders, some lenders use this as part of their underwriting criteria, like it or not. Education level, high school, some college, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, what have you. And so again, there'll be a place for them to write that in when they actually get this form versus the view that you see now. Education matters. Again, not my opinion, doesn't matter what I think, doesn't matter, frankly, what you think, but there's some lenders that like to see higher education. Education is kind of interesting because they usually don't go verify that. It's self-reported. So if someone said they had a college degree but really didn't, is it going to come out during the underwriting process? Typically not. Home status can't really game the system so much because if you say you own a home with a mortgage, then typically that would be reporting on your credit report. And if you said that you owned a home with a mortgage and it doesn't report on your credit, that could be a bit of an inconsistency, wouldn't it? Credit score, if they know. And of course, we all have multiple credit scores. There's multiple bureaus. Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are the big three. And with that, there's different scoring algorithms. But you and I are keeping it real simple. We're just looking for a little bit of an indicator of where they're at. Their social security number. Why do you need that? Because it's a unique identifier, right? For us to get a funding offer for them, we need to know who they are because it's not a generic, it's not a shotgun approach, it's based upon them. Their driver's license number and state, which is further proof of identity, their birth date, total monthly income before taxes are taken out, and pay frequency. And then there's a signature line that allows us to get their funding proposal. So in summary, this is a very effective way to spend very little time and drive massive volume in. You could use this a couple different ways. If you're a white label partner, which most of you are, if you're a white label partner, you could use this or a variation of this to drive in people to start a conversation. Number two is we have some white label partners who are really not wanting to do the implementation with clients. The mentoring, the following up, just not their thing. Well, maybe instead of running some of your prospects through or solely driving prospects into your white label model, you might want to use this because this is pretty much hands-off as designed. Because what will happen is if you drive a prospect to fundingproposal.online, you're not asking them for some heroic commitment. What are you asking them? Hey, you don't want to miss out. Let's see how much funding that you qualify for to start or grow a business. Guaranteed financing available, 3 simple steps, learn a little bit about the types of financing, fill out this simple funding proposal app request, and then look in your email because you're going to be getting an Adobe, which is this over here, to fill out. That's really all you need to do. We've hired funding coordinators that will take it and run with it if you're submitting them as what we call a direct client. If you're submitting them as a white label partner, then you're working with them, and that's why we do the 50-50 split. Remember, you can be a white label partner and you don't have to submit all of your clients through the white label distribution channel, because if you do that, then the expectation is that you're going to do the follow-up, you're going to get them under contract, you're going to mentor them, which is fine. It's a great deal. The only reason I bring that up again is not to dissuade you from that. I just see some white label partners that are really not interested, to not capable, some spread there of working with clients. This is simple. Drive people in, get the cursor back over here. You drive people into fundingproposal.online. It's up, it's ready to go right now. Our top producers averaging over 50 conversions a day. 50. Think about that. Put money to that. Understand what, even though it's not a 50-50 split, if you're feeding them through this, you're paid off the affiliate model, you're still paid $1,000 off of the upfront. 50 times 1,000, do the math on that. You're still writing the key person policies. You're still sharing in the performance fee on the back end. So all you're trying to do is drive people here, get them to put in their name, their email, their phone, and of course, referred by you. If you want to create your own page that is exclusively yours, then of course the URL would be different, right? Because this URL is already in use. But that's where Scott Stroud, our Chief Marketing Officer, can work with you to create a replication of this, and then the leads would be driven to you. Or if you want them driven to us to handle, but hard-coded to you. Okay, so I'm going to stop my rattling and we're going to start answering your questions about this strategy, because I'd really like you to stop for a moment, look at your performance and look at your results for the month of October. And if you're not where you need to be, I encourage you to consider maybe diversifying some of your efforts or directing some of your attention, some of your effort to using this approach. It's very simple, it's very light, it's very comfortable for people. Hey, getting financing to start or grow a small business shouldn't be difficult. In 3 simple steps, we can find out what you qualify for to start and grow a business, and everybody gets approved. Everybody gets approved. All right. So Zahn says that the optional portion should be highlighted in yellow. I guess I wouldn't argue with that. You know, it says it's optional and it keeps saying if applicable all the way through, and it'll let them progress through without it. If they put something in any of these fields, which again, you don't see the forms here, just on this view, it'll allow it to progress no matter what they put in. So that's not been a problem, but I'm not saying that your idea is not a good one, Zahn. Thank you for your feedback. Renee asked, how quickly does the prospect receive the funding proposal? So within 24 hours, and that's exactly what we say here. After you complete the form above, we'll forward you a simple application, which is this on the left-hand side. We'll send you a simple and secure 1-page application. Here's the application via Adobe. It goes to them via Adobe, comes to them from our support email. And the subject line is funding proposal application. Check your filters if you don't see it, and they get that within 1 day. Now, you know, I know instant is great, but we're sending through Adobe because we have really good deliverability there, has good tracking. We can tell if people have looked at it, if they've opened it, they viewed it, how many times they viewed it, what times of day they viewed it. So it works out well for us. So I guess the answer to Renee's question is within 24 hours. All right, so Christopher asked, how do we track our clients? And so that's a great point. So Christopher and everyone else, you've got to come into this making a decision what sales funnel that you want to use. And if you want to use the sales funnel or funnels that you've already created, fine with me. I'm not, if it's not broken, Christopher, I don't have your numbers in front of me. I don't remember how much you made last month. If I recall correctly, I think you had I'm guessing because I don't have your stats pulled up, but I think you had 15 conversions last month, Christopher, if I remember you correctly. And so, I mean, if you're earning 6 digits a month, you could very well just say, I don't want to make any changes. But if you do want to try this, the way that the tracking is done is based upon just a manual entry here, unless you work with Scott, our chief marketing officer, and he can create a replicated site like this on a different URL, right? Because you couldn't use this URL. This is our basic URL that's used for the basic form. So driving people here is very effective. It's very simple. You need to do nothing other than just encourage them to put referred by you. If you want a unique version of this, then you'd work with Scott Stroud, our chief marketing officer, and he can create one, he can make changes, get the URL and all that for you. So Christopher, let me know if I didn't answer your question, and congratulations on a great month, Christopher. And several of you had really strong months last month. You know, we know as a white label partner, you've contractually agreed to generate at least 8 conversions a month. And what a month October was for us collectively. But you know, you look at the numbers that April had and Beatrice had and Joseph had. I mean, some of you just really shocking numbers for the month of October. Okay, so let's get back. Pete says, if a prospect completes the referred by here. Okay, so Pete's asking a good question. So this is not the white label funnel. So think about, what's a good analogy? Think about a funnel. So let's say you run out of gas and you need the funnel to get the gas into the tank of the car. And so you have a funnel. And so there's different funnels. This is a different funnel than the white label funnel. So I'm not trying to distract you from the white label funnel, Pete, certainly, or anyone else, but I just see some people, the funnel that they're using seems to have a cramp or crink in it. There's no flow going through. So we wanted to offer an alternative strategy if your funnel is broken. So with this funnel, this is not the white label. It's not the white label funnel. It is more of what we'd call the affiliate funnel. You drop them in and you do nothing else other than get paid. You don't have to support them. You don't have to mentor them. You don't have to get them contracted. You don't have to follow up with them. This is the simple model. And I know not all of you are simple, nor do you want simple, and that's okay. But this is an alternative for a simple model that we're seeing some of you, as we were beta testing in October, driving in crazy numbers. And it kind of makes sense, right? Because the proposition is so light. It's so approachable. Hey, we know that getting financing to start or grow a small business shouldn't be difficult. In just a couple minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, we can get you set up to get you a funding proposal to see how much you qualify to start or grow a business. Everybody gets approved. And so all you're doing is saying, hey, I just need to get your name, your phone, your email, your phone. And what I can do is within 24 hours, you will get a secure one-page application via Adobe that then we can generate funding offers for you without delay. It's going to come from our support email. The subject line is going to be funding proposal application. So Pete, keep in mind, this is not the sales funnel or the sales channel for submitting a white label client. Pete brings up a good point, and it's going to confuse some, but Pete's thinking deeper than what we might have intended. So Pete could, or any of you could, work with Scott, create a variation of this page and have this not feed into us to send out this, but just to submit to you to then work the prospect and then take them through the white label funnel. So it could be really more of a landing page driving into you. But in that case, you would need to work with Scott to create a replica of this with a different URL, because this one here feeds in and it's automatically taken care of. All right. Winston asked, good morning, Winston. Winston asked, at what point of the transaction does the white label partner owe money? Well, everything that we're discussing here really is not the white label sales channel, Winston. As I just mentioned, if you wanted to convert it to be a lead generation landing page, you can work with Scott Stroud, our Chief Marketing Officer. Scott at smartmoneyalliance.org is his email. And then how this is handled, how this is processed, could send to you as a white label partner. And then in those cases, then instead of this automatically going out, then you would reach out to them and contract with them. But by default, what we're talking about here, Winston, this doesn't have anything to do with you owing anything. This is in fact just a simple way to generate and drive in leads and generate a lot of income with very little time involvement. Thank you, Winston. All right, so Pauline asks, oh, you're welcome, Winston. So Pauline asks, can I incorporate my access to capital lead that stopped at step 1 into this program? Oh, okay, so I'll broaden that just to make sure everyone follows. So if you have prospects that have not moved forward, could you just drop them in here? And the answer is yes. That would be fine, because we're not expecting you to have done anything with the prospect that would keep you from just frankly dropping information in here for us to pick up and run with. So Pauline, that's a great idea. If you have some prospects that are stuck in your current sales channels, you could drop them in here. That's a good point. Very good point. Hadn't thought of that, but that's a great point, Pauline. All right, and then Tyrone's asking about the coast. I don't know what coast you're talking about, Tyrone, so I apologize. It's funny, I was watching news this morning, they were talking about the West Coast being backed up with the big shipping containers and shipping delays, the supply chain. But Tyrone, if you explain to me which coast you're asking about, I'll do a better job of answering your question. Okay, so who else has any questions about this pretty simple concept? This is another sales funnel or a sales channel that you can use. We beta tested it in October and it's been remarkably successful. Why? Because it's simple, right? It's simple for you and it's simple for the client. You can reach out to prospective small business owners or small business owners already and say, hey, you don't want to miss out on this. We realize that getting financing to start or grow a business can be difficult. We've got a simple solution to that. We can get you a funding proposal in about 24 hours. Everyone gets approved. All we need to do is just get a couple pieces of information, and then we'll get you an application. And once that application is completed within 24 hours, we can have you a funding proposal. So this is working really well. Do you want to adopt this sales funnel, this sales channel, this strategy? I don't know. It's up to you. But I can tell you it doesn't cost you anything, right? Because this site's already up and running. You can start dropping people in there now. It doesn't cost you anything. You still make the $1,000 up front. You still sell the key person policy. You still get the performance fee on the back end, and you don't have to put any extra time or effort into it. You don't have to close clients. You don't have to mentor clients. You don't have to support clients. You don't owe anything if the clients go kaput. It's simple. It's simple. All right, let's see here. Renee asks, is the affiliate or white label partner notified when the client completes? That's a good question. I didn't cover that well enough. So if you're using, Renee, this URL, so let's assume you're not working with Scott, you're not creating a variation of this that does something different. Renee is just asking a question about how the normal model works. The way the normal model works is once you submit it in a client, you don't have any other responsibility. You'll be notified when you've earned money. when you've earned commissions. Other than that, other than receiving commissions, you have no other involvement. Now, if you want different, you want to be involved, you want to be in the loop, then you'd work with Scott and change this to a different URL, maybe something similar. You would have this communication different, whereby it would feed into you as a white label partner, and then you'd run with them that direction. Because we have two distribution models, right? The affiliate model, refer in, get paid, nothing else. That's what this is designed to do for people that want simple, fast, and easy money. And then the white label channel is more involvement, obviously, in the loop. And so this by default would not be a good fit if you're wanting to be in the loop, if you're wanting to be involved, if you're wanting to do more work, unless you work with Scott to create a variation of this, and then you and Scott can readdress how these leads are processed. So hopefully that helps and makes sense. Okay, so let's wrap it up here. We're at the bottom of the hour. So what we discussed today is a new sales channel, a new sales funnel that we've tested during the month of October, and it's working crazy effectively. Again, our top referral partners are seeing over 50 deals a day from this. Why? Because it's simple, it's attractive, right? So you go to the prospect, you say, hey, would you like to get a funding proposal? We don't think that getting financing to start or grow a business should be difficult. In just 3 easy steps, we can get you a funding proposal. And then the steps are described here. They fill this out. Step 3 is really just letting them know that this is going to occur. Then they're going to get sent an Adobe. This is the cover sheet. And then they're going to have this application to fill out. We take it, we run with it. You don't have any other involvement. If you want to do a hybrid of this, you certainly can. That would mean that you'd get with Scott Stroud, our Chief Marketing Officer, alter the URL, alter where the leads go, and the leads would go to you instead of us to instant implementation. Who has any other questions, comments, or concerns about this exciting new sales channel, sales funnel based around providing small businesses a funding proposal? Simple pitch, easily received. Winston asked about our affiliate program. Yes, so our affiliate program has 3 tiers. It's 3 tiers deep. We're not network marketing, we're not multi-level marketing, but yes, our affiliate program is 3 tiers deep. All right, well, again, I'm excited that we're starting November. October was a record-setting month for us and for many of you. I expect that November will be even stronger. November is typically our biggest month of the year. We look forward to assisting you in this path forward. We have processed all of the October business, including those that came in right before midnight yesterday. So anything that you submit today and going forward, of course, will be credited towards November. If you're a white label partner, you'd promise to generate at least 8 conversions in the month. And so if we didn't hit that in October, we'll be reaching out to you to say, hey, what do we need to do to get on track in November? Because otherwise, obviously, you're in default of our agreement. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you back tomorrow morning. I'm excited about this. And all you need to do is, if you want to start using it, just start dropping in name, email, phone, and referred by on fundingproposal.online. You don't have to go sign up for something. You have to do anything different. Just start feeding in the prospects. The system will take care of it, and you'll start getting paid. Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow morning.